Alright guys, this is my first Gatecrash draft. Um, I'll be discussing the picks, my first picks, why I picked them. With this draft, this first pack, I saw Executioner Swing and I thought, oh, I guess I'm going to go Orzhov. Orzhov seems pretty strong and limited, and Executioner String is just really good removal. Um, so yeah, first pick, Executioner Swing. In the next pack, I saw the Rampager and or Ravager. That guy is really good. Call the Nightwing's pretty good if you decide to go Demir. Um, the Rampager, he's really good. He's a good 4/4 trampler, and he can. I was looking at aerial maneuver in this one. He's a good 4/4 trampler, and the Blood Rush is just really good. So I was trying to decide, but I'd already started to go black white, so it was a tough decision. Gruul isn't the greatest, so I decided to go with aerial maneuver because me personally, I love combat tricks, and that card just first strike flying, it really blows people out of the water. They're just not expecting it. Plus, it makes your dude bigger, so you can get that extra damage in there. But this was a 6-man draft. It wasn't a full 8-man. We weren't able to get enough people, but it's a lot of practice I was trying to get for the Pro Tour. All right, this next pack, I saw that goblin, the first goblin. He gives haste to all your creatures, and they have to attack each turn. He's really good. Madcap skills. I saw that, and I was like, man, I should have took that Rampager. But then I saw mugging, and I thought, well, I saw these two removal cards, and I thought between the two, the black one, Grizzly, I think that one is really good, but mugging's just easier to cast, and the Night Watch, that's a really good card. Puts 2/2 soldiers with vigilance in play, but I think I ended up picking mugging, and mostly because it's easier to cast, allows me to splash red. There's some good red removal, um, and the black one was it's difficult to cast sometimes with the two black. This one I saw the flyer 2/2 extort guy. He's awesome. I was happy to see him. The other cards weren't really that great. The 3/2 extort rogue, he's okay, but the 2/2 flyer is definitely way better. So I picked that over the 3/2 rogue. And at this point, I was pretty set on Orzhov. I was like, all right, Orzhov, splash red. I'm doing it, you know. So I was kind of glad I didn't pick the 4/4 trampler guy, just because, like creatures on an aggro deck, unless it's super explosive, it's not going to get there against the more control-y type decks, especially like the type I'm trying to draft right now. That 1/1 red denizen, he's good. The exile card's garbage. This guy, I ended up going with the infantry I think it's a 2/3 or 3/2. In this pack, I was looking at the Cyclops. He's kind of good, and red and white were my colors, but he's 5 mana. So the infantry guy, he just seemed better. It was between him and the denizen. The denizen's really good as a 1-drop, but I wasn't really so far. My plan wasn't creatures, so I just picked the 2/3. He's got a big butt. He's a dude. If I ended up having to change my draft later, he seemed like he would fit fine. And then there weren't any removal in that pack. There wasn't any removal, so I just went with that. I saw this Rebel Hulk, and it made me second guess again. I was like, I should go Gruul. I want to go Gruul. Braintree Emissary is good. It looked like a bunch of Gruul was being passed, but I want to stick with Orzhov. I pretty much wanted to just keep it. I had already picked some decent Orzhov cards, but that Rebel Hulk, he's great and limited. But I ended up going with the 3/2 flyer. It just matched my colors, and but seeing all these red and green cards made me think, man, I could have went a really beefy Gruul deck if I wanted to. But I wanted to stick with my plan. My plan was going into it, I was going to go Orzhov, and I just happened to getting that mugging kind of made me want, okay, I'm going to splash red. So that kind of opened my options to some Boros cards if I saw them, or any of the red removal, like Pit Fight mugging, um, things like that. But you can see this draft was going kind of slow. For this next pack, that 3/3 flyer guy that gives other creatures -1/-1, that guy's actually really good. He's a bit difficult to cast, but he he does really well because a lot of the flyers in this set, they aren't huge, so he makes them smaller, and he's himself is a 3/3, so he just wrecks a lot of the flyers in this set. That extort card I was just looking at, the gold one, it's lackluster. You pay life to see a number of cards in your opponent's hand based on the amount of life you paid, and you get to remove one. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. I think it's 5 mana, and the Ruffian, I don't like him, so I ended up going with the Flyer. He does well, and if he's a bit expensive, but if I didn't get any other cards, I saw the Rampager tabled, so I thought, well, if for some reason I get cut off, because I wasn't seeing a whole lot of Orzhov stuff. I did get a few picks, but it wasn't anything super amazing yet. So I thought, oh, I'll take him. If nothing else, I don't want to play against him because he can be mean, especially the Blood Rush part. I was debating the target opponent loses 3 life cipher just because it's reach, but it's 5 mana, and it's. I mean, I didn't plan on having a whole lot of dudes, so. I saw the Night Watch tabled, and I was pretty much deciding between that and I think it's Massive Raid is the red card that does damage equal to the number of creatures you have. But seeing as how I didn't plan on having a whole lot of creatures, Night Watch just seemed better. 2/2s with Vigilance, I can swing in there while still having blockers. So I just like that card. This pack didn't have much anything in it at this pick. I don't really like that 3/3 enchantment if I were going Gruul, and the blue cards, they're just really expensive. I mean, they're flyers, yeah, but they're just too pricey. So I went with, I guess, a hate draft on this one. It was between that green creature and that blue one that you can pump to a 3/3. I ended up taking the blue one just because I didn't want to have to deal with it early game if someone went Simic. I mean, a turn 2, basically 3/3 would be difficult to deal with. This pack didn't have anything for me really. I was thinking about taking the Gruul Guildgate just in case for some reason I had to. Like I said earlier, I was still kind of debating on whether or not I should do Gruul. I was thinking about that Defender, but all my creatures, I wouldn't really want to sack them to give them Death Touch, and personally, I don't like walls. So I decided to take the Gruul Guildgate. If nothing else, it took it from someone else who might have been going Gruul. This one, I don't like the Goblin. I saw Rubble Hulk. I said, alright, I'm taking him. I don't want to play against him. And this pick, I don't like that guy that can't attack or block alone. So I went with 10th Street Market. Maybe a possible draw outlet later. And that staff, I mean, it's fine. As the last card you get. It's actually really good on a flyer just because it makes him basically unblockable because it gives him +1/+0 and can't be blocked by creatures flying. When I started reviewing it, I was pretty happy so far. I had some decent Orzhov stuff, nothing amazing. I had some good removal.